Good evening. Good evening and welcome back to Landmark Christian Academy. My name is Matthew Anders and I am one of the pastors here at Landmark Baptist Church. We are thrilled that you've chosen to have your student or students as students again here at Landmark Christian, and we hope this is going to be a wonderful year. We trust you've had a wonderful summer. In just a few minutes, Mr. Ashworth is going to come up, and he is going to give us quite a bit of information that will help us to begin the school year right. Before he does that, would you bow with me for a word of prayer? Father, we thank you for a wonderful evening, just an opportunity to prepare ourselves for the school year come Monday morning. We thank you for the teachers, the faculty, and staff that you've given us this year who've been working eagerly and with great anticipation of tonight's preparation. And I do ask that the information that's given and all of the questions that are in parents' minds, that would get answered and that we would, in every way we possibly can, seek to serve and encourage these families who are trusting and entrusting to us the education of their children. We pray that as we seek to assist in that endeavor, we would do so for your glory and for your honor in a way that benefits the child and their education and the whole family. But we thank you for the opportunity this evening to be together and just learn these things. I do pray for the students who some are eager and excited and others are lamenting the fact that summer's almost over. I do pray that you would prepare their hearts for the school year ahead. We ask all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Well, let me add my word of welcome. I am so thankful that you are here this evening, and we are excited about this school year. This is the 40th year of Landmark Christian Academy. We started in 1978, and we're so thankful that the Lord has allowed us to minister to students and affect lives for all of those years. We want to, tonight, give you information to get you started with this school year. We want to answer all of your questions, and so as you go through, if you do have a question about something, please find somebody that's a faculty member and ask them a question. We want to answer your questions so that you are ready and set for Monday morning. You might not be excited about Monday morning, but at least you'll know what you're supposed to do on Monday morning, so that will be a good thing. We're going to start. I want to start by telling you why we are here as a school. Our mission statement is actually located on a board right outside the school office. And we put it there because that's what we want our parents to see from the very outset. We want you to know why we are here. Landmark Christian Academy exists to assist parents in the God-given responsibility of educating their children and training them to love God first and then to live productive, godly lives of service for His glory. We are here not to replace you as parents. No one can do that. We are here to assist in any way that we can. And it is the goal of our church to do that, and that goes right down into this ministry of our church, Landmark Christian Academy as well. I feel like I've got an echo. Do you all hear an echo up here? Okay, is the pulpit mic on? All right, so he'll work on that. Thank you, Garrett, for working on that. We want to assist parents and do what we can to help you. I'm a parent myself, and I know what it is to try to raise a student in this culture and how concerning that is. We want to educate your children. We are dedicated to providing a quality education, and we want to provide the best education we can. We're constantly looking for ways to improve our education, improve our service for you, and we welcome your suggestions, by the way, with that as well. We're planning to make some changes this year, in fact, of things we want to do to help you better and to assist you and to assist your students and have a better education, quality of education for them as well. We want to encourage our students to love God first. That is why we are here. So we're going to encourage our students to love God first, and we're going to teach them, hopefully have an environment that's conducive to learning about God and loving Him. And then we want to teach them to serve God with productive, godly lives. And so we want to teach them the character traits as well as the abilities to have a productive, godly life of service for Him. I'm going to go through just a few quick things that really apply to everybody, and then I'm going to give some a few announcements that apply to everybody, and then I'm going to dismiss the elementary parents and students, and they will be going to their rooms. So let me just talk a little bit about how you get to school in the morning. From 8 to 8:30 in the morning, you can drop off your students. This will be a time to drop them off at the sidewalk between this front porch area and the fire hydrant down here. Students can come straight onto the sidewalk then, and then they'll walk that direction to the back portico and enter the rear doors there, where they'll head to the gym and wait till be dismissed to classrooms. So we will hold everyone in the gym, and then at 8 o'clock, kindergarten students will come, and we've got a kindergarten teacher will come and get them and bring them down to room 114, where they will stay. And then at 8:15, we're going to dismiss elementary students, and 8:20, we'll dismiss high school students to their classrooms. So that's what our morning is going to look like. Once again, parents, it's that area right there next to the sidewalk, just past this porch, where you would drop off your students. By the way, that's the same area elementary that you would pick up your students as well. So that'd be our drop-off and pickup zone. In fact, at dismissal, we're asking that our K through 6th grade students are picked up according to that schedule right there. So if your last name is A through M, if you'll be picked up between 3:10 and 3:20, and then M through Z, 3:20 to 3:30. We'll be out there at 3:10, but what we have found is that if everyone picks their child up at 3:10, we end up with a huge bottleneck out here. And so we end up holding up the street out here and have lots of problems. So if you'll just wait a few minutes and try to give us just a few minutes to clear the parking lot with not everyone in the parking lot at one time, that'll be a great help. 7 through 12, you're dismissed out the back doors in the far parking lot, and parents, you can pick up your students back there. Just a couple of reminders. One of the things in your packet tonight, elementary, was a large blue page with your last name on it, and we'd like you to have that in your car window so that when you come up, our teachers can see that and they can call your student to the car, and we can hopefully keep that dismissal going quickly and smoothly. Sometimes it's hard to see that card if it's laying on the dash, so if you can prop that card up or even hold it up on the side window so we can see as you enter, that would be a great help. And then we do have, by the way, did you see our new parking lot? We striped our new parking lot as well. We changed the parking spaces here on this side of the porch as well to give us a little bit more driving room right as we enter the parking lot also. And so we would like you to get as many cars in here as possible. So we'd like you to pull as far up in that drop-off zone as possible. Once we get the cars stopped, we'll bring students out to the cars safely, load them up, and once you're loaded, you can head right off to the right there around the circular drive and the tree there. We do want to try in the afternoon to leave the first parking lane free. So those first set of stripes, not closest to the building, but the first stripes in the middle, and that way we can have another lane of cars drive past. If we have elementary cars lined up ready to pick up their children, high school parents can drive on the left side and get around them into the back parking lot if we leave that first line of parking spots open. So we do ask for that. Students will wait on the sidewalk and come to you. I'm going to let the teachers a little bit later talk about pizza, about lunch and all of that, but I did want to mention this. On Fridays, we offer a pizza lunch for our students, and that gives a great break and variety. Students, how many like the pizza lunch? All right, so it is nice for all of us to have a change from the bring your lunch type of a thing. However, we really do need some help. We are really dependent on parents to help come get that pizza from Domino's or wherever we order it, and then help supervise our juniors and seniors as they distribute that. So if you are available, maybe you could give one Friday a month or something like that. We would love the help there. Mrs. Maynard helps us out with that, and she is in the office, and so if you would be able to help out anyway, that would be wonderful. Let me tell you a little bit about our Labor of Love Serve-a-thon. This affects everyone as well. Last year, we had a fantastic serve-a-thon, and it allowed us to make a lot of improvements over the summer. We are very excited about it, and it was because of your hard work. We raised right around $50,000 gross last year. It was an amazing year, and that's just attributable to your hard work, and we appreciate that. Not only is it a fundraiser for our school, it's also a serve-a-thon. It's a time where we emphasize serving. And we'll tell you a lot more about that. But I did want to tell you that we have made many purchases from that. We have bought more books for our library. In fact, we're planning on some more improvements in our library. We'll tell you in a couple of weeks. We've purchased materials for our science lab. That was a couple of years ago. We built the science lab, and now we've purchased some more materials with that. We just replaced the computers in the computer lab. Our students were having some difficulty with Rosetta Stone, and which we use for Spanish and foreign language. And so we've just replaced with brand new Dell computers. They are tiny little units, full computers for the computer lab. In the gym, when you walk down there, you will notice immediately some of the changes we've made there. If you remember, above the concrete, we had insulation showing. And over the years, as students hit those with balls, and they just get torn a little bit. And so then you try to tape them with white duct tape, and it never looks the same. And so what we have done is the first thing to try to improve our gym here this past summer was to install metal sheeting over all of that insulation. And so it really makes our gym look much nicer and really makes it look sharp. So we're excited about that. And then, because the fundraiser was so great, we added later, hey, if it happens, we'll purchase this as well. And we bought a new bus. And we are very excited. Very excited about our new bus. Mr. O'Brien searched nationwide where we could find a bus for our price range and for low mileage. And he came down to two choices. One was in Seattle, Washington, and one was in Las Vegas, Nevada. And so just, was it last week? 2 weeks ago, Mr. O'Brien and myself and Mr. Marks flew out to Las Vegas and bought a bus and drove it across the country back here. But this bus is really nice. It has a lot more legroom inside. The aisles are nice and large. And we are very excited. I think this will be a great addition. Some of you have a field trip already planned. I don't know if you've checked your email, parents, but 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I think, have the opportunity for a field trip just the second week, just because of a special thing in town. So we'll be taking the bus. And then we also have a senior trip this week, or this year, not this week, this year. And it'll be a great help with our senior trip as well. So we're very excited about our new bus. This year, our serve-a-thon, the informational meeting will be September 24th. That's at 7 p.m. We ask that you really mark your calendar and make plans to come. And then also our serve-a-thon date is going to be November 3rd, that Saturday. That is a day we don't just want the students, we want you as parents as well. Please plan to come and serve with us, and we will serve as one big family that day. At this time, I'd like to introduce Pastor Nate Allen. He is our pastor of youth and families here for Landmark Baptist Church, and he'd like to give a quick word at this time.
I love the hooting and hollering. You know, it's an exciting meeting when everybody's cheering and speaking so loudly. Mine might not be that exciting, but I did want to take just a moment and say we are thrilled as the school year starts back. For us here, even as a church, we're excited to have a number of families. I know that a number of churches are even represented in this room. And we love you folks, and we're so glad that you've chosen Landmark and given us the opportunity to teach and engage your families and your kids with the truth. And what we want to do is be able to assist, even as Mr. Ashworth said at the beginning, we want to assist you as you're doing the work of training and discipling your kids. And so a couple of things that go on throughout the year here that regard our church, especially as it deals with kids and then junior high and high school, I figure at this meeting, if I tell you, it'll save you from having to find me somewhere and say, hey, what's this thing I just heard about? And so the first thing is our kids, we run a Wednesday evening kids program. And so from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., almost every Wednesday from now all the way through May, we meet down the hallway. We have several kids teachers who we train, and we seek to have good teaching and even instruct them on how to interact with kids. And so many of them are just naturally gifted anyway. But we gather together every Wednesday, 7 to 8. That is for grades K4 all the way up through the 6th grade. And so those are kind of divided by age groups, but they meet, and that is every Wednesday. There are some registration forms, and I figured I'd mention this and show it to you so you can see what it looks like. Right here in the hallway, there's kind of a rack of a bunch of cards and things. This is right there in the middle of that rack. And if you wanted to grab one of those and fill that out, you can give it to me at any point tonight. But also, we'll probably send another copy home next week so that everybody just has a copy. We start that officially this upcoming Wednesday. So the first Wednesday of school is when we kick that program off and kind of head into the year that way. That's for grades K4 all the way up through 6th grade. Once you get to junior high and high school, what you'll hear a lot of, especially if you're a parent of a young person, you'll hear about activities that are coming up. And so just because you may go to another church doesn't mean you're not invited to the activities we're doing here. We actually want you to know you're more than welcome. Also, we don't kind of have a closed door policy as regards parents. If you'd like to come along and see what we're doing, dads and moms, you're invited. If you're going to be discipling and training your own kids, we want to be able to give you the opportunity to be able to even do these fun things with them. And so we typically do these activities, about one major activity a month, like paintballing, or we go do corn mazes, things like that. And I announce that through the high school and let all the high school kids know that they can come if they'd like. But just to let you know, that's what you'll hear a little bit about. If you want to know more of that, I'll be down in the gymnasium during the book sale. If you come up and introduce yourself to me and give me your email address, I can put you on our giant list, just our distribution list for all youth families, and that'll tell you all of the activities for 7th grade through 12th grade that are coming up. Also on Wednesday evenings, if you don't have a regular church home or a place that you go to, we do get together. The adults of our church meet for Bible study. That happens down our hallways here. And then also that junior high, high school, we meet down in the gymnasium and we do a Bible study together down there, have a little bit of a game time and just an evening together. That's Wednesday evenings, the same time, 7 to 8 o'clock. We'd love to have you join us if you have the time, if you're interested. If you have any questions, please just find me tonight. I'd love to answer those for you. Thank you, guys.
One new thing I did also want to mention this evening, maybe you've heard in the news recently reports of the dangers, and many times they actually use the word of addiction of cell phones, and the dangers of constantly being using a cell phone. Many experts are talking about the consequences of this generation, of raising a generation that would rather text than actually talk to a person, and how that's going to affect us coming on. Last spring, we heard about a school in Silicon Valley. So this is Technology Center. And this private school was advertising that if you send your kids to this school, we will ban cell phones and they will not use their cell phone during the day. Interestingly, the president of France ran on a platform this past spring that if he was elected, he would keep cell phones from children in the schools. And we have our own concerns here. Furthermore, technology and cell phones, just as Christians, they open up a lot of temptations to our students at very young ages. And so we as parents, we need to be wise. We need to, I hope that we put some measures to protect our children regarding cell phones. Add to that the school. In a school, you've got the opportunity of cheating and then just flat distraction from learning. And so we, this year, are asking that all cell phones not be used on campus from the time students arrive in the morning until after ESD or sports practices. There are some caveats, and students can always come to the office and call you from the office phone, but we are requiring that all cell phones and smartwatches as well be turned off while on campus and left in a book bag for elementary, or for junior high and high school, 7 through 12, they'd be left in their locker. And so this is a new thing we're starting this year. It is explained in the handbook, and if you have any questions regarding that, I want to let you know about that. That was also in our July letter that was sent to parents and emailed to parents. A couple other things. We desire to help you as parents, and so we're going to do something else new this year, and I wanted to let you know about that this evening. We are going to have 2 meetings this year that we're going to require parents of students of LCA to come to. And both of these are about raising our children in this present culture. The first one is going to be on bullying, and the second one is going to be on technology, first semester and second semester. We'll present present findings in this area and expert opinion. We will give more information later, but I do ask that you write down these 2 dates because we are going to ask that parents and require that parents come to this. Now, the next question is why? Why are we doing something like this? And so the first reason is because we are serious about assisting you in raising your children. And I find it interesting. I don't know about you. I went to college for 4 years, well, actually 6 years, to do my job. But you know what I consider to be my most important job? Is raising my children. And I'm sure you do too. And we didn't go to school to raise children. Does it just come naturally that we know how to parent? Well, I know I don't. And so we want to do everything we can to assist in our most important job of parenting. And secondly, if we require every parent to be here, then I hope that this would give you assurance that the parent of every student in your child's class will have heard the same thing you heard and will know what is expected of their child also. So we're going to have 2 meetings, and we ask that you write those down in your calendar. At this time, I'd like to introduce our faculty to you. We are open and want to help you in any way that we possibly can. And so I'm going to ask that our faculty come down the aisle, if you can, please. And I'd like to introduce our faculty to you. I am excited about the team that the Lord has put together this year. And so we are here to help. And if any of these people, you see any of these faces, please don't hesitate to ask tonight or any other night as well. I'm going to start with over here in our high school area. And at the far end over there is Mr. Stephen Marks. And we are thankful. He is teaching our upper level math and sciences. And he just completed a master's degree this summer. Next to him is Mrs. Tonda Pliska. She has taught for many years and it was away for us for a couple of years and came back. And we're excited to have her teaching English in the high school area. Next to her is Miss Kristen Lapone. This is her first year of teaching. She is an English major and also has a master's in speech. And I am very excited about that. We are praying that the Lord will help us to grow our speech program with our competition in the spring and all of those things. I have a long list to give to her. Next to her is Mrs. Carrie Sturley. She has taught keyboarding for us before. She's been our volleyball coach for several years. She is going to continue to be our volleyball coach, but she's going to pick up girls' PE this year as well, and I am excited about having her. To her right is Miss Jessica Wentworth, and Jessica's first year teaching with us as well. We just got her from college. However, she has also just completed her master's in English. Next to her, we have Josh Garlick. He is our coach, and so he coaches our guys' sports teams. He is our athletic director, schedules our games, and also history teacher, has a history degree, and so teaches history for us. Pastor Matthew Anders is our Bible teacher for 9th and 10th grade Bible. He has coached many times. I think we're going to try to keep him out of that because he has so many duties. We're going to try to keep him out of that this summer or this year. But he teaches our Bible class and, of course, is the leader of this ministry. Pastor Nate Allen next to him is our history teacher as well as Bible teacher, and we appreciate his influence on students. Mrs. Anita Conrad teaches our 3-year-old kindergarten program, and so we're thankful for her patience with the little ones. The next 2 ladies here, Lisa Heckerman and Joelle Marks, are team teaching our K-5 this year, and so we are excited. Both of them have 10 or over years of experience, and so we appreciate their experience and giving that to the 5-year-olds. In front or next to them is my wife, Angie Ashworth, and I appreciate her. She teaches K-4 for us, our 4-year-olds, but she is also what I call the elementary supervisor, and she helps the elementary teachers. She has lots of years of experience in the elementary, and I appreciate her words of wisdom, not only for the elementary teachers, but for me many times as well. Next to her is Mrs. Christina Beard, and she is the assistant teacher in that K-4 classroom, and we appreciate her help. Then this is Miss Pam Henshaw, teaches first grade, has taught for over 10 years, I believe, as well, and we're thankful for her work in the first grade. Second grade is, I almost said it, is Mrs. Sarah Owen. She just changed her name and has taught for us for several years, but got married right after school year ended. And so this is now Mrs. Owen, and we're thankful she's here. Mrs. Bishop teaches our third grade. She's taught for 18 or so years and does a great job in third grade. Miss Lewis next to her is fourth grade, and we're thankful for her. I think she's taught about 4 years. Miss Malachuk next to her teaches fifth grade, and Miss Malachuk has taught, I think this is her third year for us, and we're thankful for her influence and love for students. And then Mrs. Spencer. Stephanie Spencer is one of several alumni, by the way. Pastor Nate Allen is alumni of the Academy, and Stephen Marks down at the end is alumni of the Academy. Mrs. Spencer has taught for several over 10 years as well, and we're thankful for her. Next to her is Mrs. Amy Dobbin. She runs our music program and plays the piano, teaches piano lessons, which are available as well, does a fantastic job, and we are thankful for her as well. So I'm going to let these people dismiss, and you can walk right on out there, please. And at this time, we are going to dismiss our elementary students and parents here in just a moment. You will go to your elementary classroom, and then from there, you'll go on to the bookstore or the book sale down in the gymnasium. If you have, hold on just a second, if you have a junior high or high school student, I'm going to ask you to stay put, okay? So let's do this. Hold on just a second. Hold on a second. The fifth grade is the farthest class. So if you've got a fifth grader, I'm going to let you go first. So fifth grade first. Fifth grade students and parents, if you'll head out the back and follow Miss Malachuk, you'll be going up the stairs. Everyone else, just sit tight for a second. All right, let's go fourth grade. Fourth grade with Miss Lewis. You can head out after the fifth graders, and you are headed down the hallway and upstairs. Then we'll dismiss sixth grade. So if you were in sixth grade, head to Mrs. Spencer's class. You can follow the crowd again all the way down the hallway and upstairs to sixth grade. We're going to change things up and go with first grade. So first grade, if you have a first grader, you can head out after these. Your classroom is just down middle of the hallway and on the right in the first grade classroom. After first, let's go with second grade. Mrs. Owen's class. You are just down the hallway and on the right, second grade. Third grade. Third grade is next. Third grade, you will head down, and middle of the hallway on the left, third grade. All right, have I gotten all the elementary? What have I missed? Kindergarten, that's important. K5. You can head out. You're heading down and to the right. If you have a 4-year-old kindergartner, 4-year-old, you can head down the hallway to the left, 4-year-olds. And 3-year-olds. If you have a 3-year-old, you are very quickly just on the right. All right. So I should have 7 through 12 students here. Let me just give a couple of quick announcements, and then I am going to shorten this for the returning students and those parents that have heard this and let you go down to the book sale a little bit more quickly. There are several forms that you've got in your packet. I'll talk about more of those with the new students a little later, but if you are a returning student, look at those forms. You'll want to make sure that you get those signed and leave those here this evening if you can. In fact, we'll try to collect some of those when we dismiss here in just a minute. On your class schedule, don't forget on that, you will see your locker number. We encourage you to put your books in your locker tonight. 10 through 12, grades 10 through 12, you actually have 2 lockers. We have enough for that. So if you're in 10 through 12, you have that locker that's listed on your schedule is a top locker. You've got the one underneath it as well to use. And if anybody has a question about a class or something on your schedule, please see me about that when I dismiss this evening. You can come talk to me. I'll be down in the gym as well. But if you have a question about something on your schedule, don't buy that book and write in it if you think there might be something you're not taking that book, class. So make sure that you only buy books for the classes that you're taking. As far as then the... Let's see here. As far as the book table, book sale tonight, when you go down, your teachers will be behind the book tables to assist you. It is important that if you have any questions about what books you need to buy, ask them at the table. They will also have a book ticket that lists all the books you need to purchase, and they can help you know which ones that you need. Your teacher will give you a book ticket and fill that out, and that's what you need to take to the checkout because that will speed up our going through the cashier line. So make sure you have that book ticket from the teacher at that grades table. At the cashier line then, you can purchase, I think there's student planners at the cashier tables there if you want to purchase those as well. After you purchase your book, put your name in them. You can go ahead and put them in your locker and be all ready for Monday morning, and that will be important. By the way, just a reminder, returning students, first day, you can come in at 8 o'clock, and we will not meet in the gym at 8 o'clock. We'll meet in the gym until 8, but we'll dismiss at 8 and give everyone time to get to your lockers and get everything set up. And so if you come anytime after 8 o'clock, we'll head straight to your lockers and homerooms. I will mention this for parents of juniors and seniors. I said something about Pizza Fridays. We are in need of help, and really that benefits your students. We are headed to Washington, D.C. in April this year, and so if you can help out at all with going to the pizza place and getting the pizzas, coming back and watching students, that would be great. All right, I'm going to trust then that you returning parents can read your information and know all about that, and I'm going to let the returning students and parents, except for... I want all 7th graders to stay here, please. I'd like to help you a little bit. And all new students and parents, all right? If you are not a 7th grader parent or a new parent or 7th grade, you may go down at this time. All right, 7th grade parents and students and new students and parents, I'm going to go ahead and start and get through some of these things. We do have some new people with us, and so I just want to mention a couple of things. There's lots of forms in your packet. The one that is the green form that has demographic information about that, we printed what we have on file, but if something is wrong or incorrect, if you will please mark through that and rewrite what is correct, and then we'll collect that back from you and fix it in our system. So that's very important for our help. Those green information cards, we want to have what's correct in RenWeb. Absolutely vital that we have your correct email, and so please make sure that you have that correct as well. There is an approval of photographs for us to put your picture, your student's picture in the yearbook and website and some other things there. So if you will look at that, please. We would love to use pictures of our students. There is an authorization of administering medicine, and there is one color that is for a prescription drug and one color that is for not prescription. If you would like us to be able to give acetaminophen or Tylenol at the office, we would need you to fill out one of those forms and turn it in at the office. So please do that as well. Then we have, let's see, where am I? Talked about all of those. All right, there's a form in there talking about the Parent-Student Handbook, that you have read the Parent-Student Handbook, and so we ask you to read that and fill that out if you have read that. That is available online at our website that you could reach there. We emailed it to you in July, attached to your July intro letter, and we also have them in print form in the office. If you would like one, you could pick one up there as well. But it is important that we read that so we all know about them. You might have a form in there that asks for medical records. There was new immunizations due this year, etc. So if you have a note in there, please get those turned in as quickly as possible. Those are required that we have those things. There is also a parent volunteer form in there. We'd love to have your input into the school year, and if you can help out in some way, mark that and turn that form in as well. It would be very helpful. There are sports forms. If your student would like to participate in a sport, then we have to have a physical within the last calendar year of the end of this sport. And so I don't think there were sports forms in the folders, but if you need one, those are available at the office. There's also a form in there called the Standards of Conduct, and it's very important that you read this, parent, and then also your students as well. This is a general guidelines by which we want to protect the environment here at our school and have a place where it's conducive to spiritual growth and loving our God. And so because of that, we want to protect our students from certain temptations. And so we ask everyone to abide by these policies, whether at homeschool or elsewhere. Make sure you look at the back. That has to do with your social web presence as well and social media. And we ask that you be aware of those things as well, students and parents. Since some of you are new, I'm just going to run through lunch here very quickly. We do offer several things that you can purchase for lunch. We have milk and juice box. We have microwavable meals that you can use in the microwaves down there. By the way, we do have microwaves, and if you just want to bring something to heat from home, leftovers from home, you can do that as well. And then we sell snacks, chips, and candy, and other things like that. All of that is available through our RenWeb lunch account, and that is through our online parent portal, where you can get all kinds of information. We do sell Friday pizza lunches. 2 slices and a soda are $3.75. Then we have with piano lessons. We offer piano lessons right here during the day as well. It's offered for 2nd through 12th grade students. So if you're interested in piano lessons, coming into junior high, maybe you want to try something new, and we'd love to talk to you about that. Mrs. Dobbin has a table just inside the gymnasium on the left if you would like to talk to her about setting up piano lessons this year. In ESD, this is extended school day, where those initials come from. We have it in the morning from 7 to 8 a.m. and then from 3:30 to 5:30 in the afternoons. You don't need to tell us if you need to use this. We are here all the time, and we bill at the end of the month. And so you'll see the prices there. That is available in the afternoons and in the morning. You would drop off students, and they would enter the rear doors, and we keep them in the gym, as I mentioned earlier. That starts at 7 o'clock, goes till 8. And then in the afternoons, could be a couple of different places. We may have the students on the playground, we may have them in a classroom, may have them in the gymnasium. And so that is all available for $5 for any part of an hour, and we bill at the end of the month. We do want you to know that we are available to you. So if you would like to meet with teachers at any time, please let us know. At the end of each quarter, after report cards come home, we have some specific afternoons that we want to leave free. And so we will ask you, please email us if we can go over the report card and help you as parents know where your student is in the class. We want to help. But at any time, you could call us for a conference. RenWeb is our online parent portal. It is a great asset to working together with you as a parent. You can get on there and see your child's grades. You can see what they're learning right now, communication with the teacher, announcements from the school. There is an app that is available for your phone, so you can have all of that readily available as well. I think it's about $6 for a yearly subscription. But there is a form, or should be a form, in your packet of how to set up your account. And so that is very helpful. I encourage you to do that. If you come to pick up your child during the school day, we do have doors that are locked through magnet locks and a security system. So if you come and the secretary does not recognize you, well, if you come to the door, you'll want to hit the little doorbell button over at the side, and the secretary can see you. The secretary then may, if they don't recognize you, ask for your name and your purpose. But the rear doors will be open in the morning until school starts. But once school starts, they are locked, and they're locked in the afternoon and then reopened after school ends. So ring the doorbell. We want to make sure that you can come in. You would always come into the rear doors down at the far end and visit the school office down there. School office is open from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. each school day. There's our phone number, our email. Please use that and get in contact with us. I just realized I forgot to mention that our secretary, Mrs. Dusty Maynard, Mrs. Buffy Moss, who had been our secretary for several years, is cut back her hours, and she's only working 2 days a week. And so Mrs. Dusty Maynard is working in the office. She's been a great help jumping in and doing a great job. So she'd be very willing to help you in any questions that you have. Now, you also have a class schedule in your folder. Can you pull that out for just a second? And let's look at your class schedule. There's a couple of things I want you to notice in that. First of all, you'll see something about the word enrichment that happens right through the morning. Enrichment is a 20-minute period we have started just to offer some extra things to students. For one, this is where we offer choir. And so if you are interested in taking choir in junior high and high school, that would actually happen on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays during that enrichment time. There are other things offered as well in the upper levels. We're going to prepare for the ACT test. We do a study right program of how to study. This year we're going to talk about reading textbooks and taking notes in textbooks and helping us know how to study. And so a couple of different options there. One day is an academic helps during that 20 minutes, and you can go to any of your high school teachers you need help from and get help from them. And so we will explain enrichment a little later. That is left blank really on your schedule right now because we have time to explain what that is, and you'll actually get to choose whether you're going to be in choir or not. And we'll talk about that later in the week. Your locker number is on it, so you'll buy your books and put your names on your books and put those in your lockers this evening. By the way, you may purchase a combination lock if you want to. To be quite honest, most of our students don't. But if you are going to change clothes and you are in the habit of bringing large sums of money to school, which I encourage you not to do, then I would certainly encourage you to lock them up in your locker while you are changing clothes while you are in your PE clothes. So if you want to use a lock, that is perfectly fine. Most of our students do not feel like that's necessary, and the Lord's been good. We haven't had a problem with theft or anything like that. There's a homeroom on there. That is where you'll go right after at the beginning of the day. Right after you get here, you'll go to homeroom by 8:30, and we'll have flag salutes. We'll have prayer to start our day, and then that is your first hour class. So you will not have to leave. You will be in your first hour classroom already. So you'll head to homeroom and be there by 8:30 in the morning. You will also, there's a place on there that says where your books and book bags and coats should go. So if you have a book bag or something that doesn't fit in your locker, which is probably the case, particularly if you're bringing your PE bag and all of that, there is a classroom, and in the back of that classroom will be a row of hooks, and you can hang things on there and put your PE bag underneath that on the row of hooks. That is perfectly fine, and that should be on your list or your schedule as well. All right? At this time, what I'm going to do is we want to make you comfortable so that you are ready for Monday morning. So back here, this is Coach Garlick. He teaches our PE and also some history classes. What history classes do you teach, Coach?
7th and 8th and 10th and 11th.
Okay, so he's going to teach 7th graders, 7, 8, 10, and 11. He teaches all of those. I'm going to let him walk you down the hallway and just show you some of the classrooms. He'd be able to answer any questions. I see on my schedule, I'm in this room. Where is this room? We want to show you as we walk down the hallway to the gymnasium. And so I'm going to let him show you the classrooms. He'll take you straight to the gymnasium, and then he'll go to the 7th grade table and sell you parents the 7th grade books. And so he is headed there. You have forms that you've signed. If you would like to go back there and hand those to him, he'll lay those on the pew, and then he will take you down and show you some classrooms on the way to the gym. Thank you all for coming this evening.